This is CHistrue here, and this is going to be a review of the movie Wonder Woman, the new one. And I'm going to read a letter in the New York Times, and I'm going to critique it and then say what I actually felt about the movie a little ways down the line. Thursday, June 8th, 2017, and this is letters. A letter to the editor on Wonder Woman. I'm going to read it and omit the person's name. This is a response to an article, Wonder Woman's Real Power by Jessica Bennett. So, beginning the letter. Contrary to the cultural hype around her, Wonder Woman should not be considered a role model for women and girls. First, in her minimalist outfit, she promotes an understanding of women as sex objects. I did not get that from the movie at all. There should be no surprise that men are as interested in the movie as women. Well, that's an objectifying statement. That's something that engages in body shaming. It engages in assumptions about what the motive must be of someone who wants to see a movie that has a lot of philosophical themes in it. I think that if this were said about women, she'd be incredibly offended. It would be considered to be a shaming technique. It would be considered to be objectification. I think this is beneath her, this lady. I'll omit her name, but this is something beneath her as a person and as somebody who... If you go back to the antebellum South, there were all kinds of fears about the purity of white women, and if we abolish slavery, there'd be this attack on the purity of white women. I don't think that we should be engaging in such dialogue in 2017. But anyways, moving along. Second, she is constantly engaged in violent fighting. This is not protest, it is violence. Do we really want a role model for our girls who promotes the misogynistic view that women are strong because they are sex objects and because they are violent? And this is concluding the letter. I think that this lady, first of all, is wrong-headed about the motives of a great many men in society. A great many of us want movies that explore concepts of heroism, self-sacrifice. We want movies that explore our own deepest natures and where we can be empathetic to the hero on the screen. I did not get the feeling about the movie that Wonder Woman was a sex object, and I absolutely got the feeling, contrary to violence being something that was celebrated in the movie had a very strong anti-war theme. And remember that war, really, when you get down to it, is all about male disposability. It's all about male sacrifice for the hierarchy of society and for the elites at the top who have been the ones to benefit from the wars. The movie was, if anything, a very tame criticism of that, but a criticism of it nonetheless. Wonder Woman, the movie had a lot of the themes about, the patriarchy and the usual thing, but the movie was not just about women being free of the patriarchy. The movie was about humanity being free of oppressive social structures, about wars that are manipulated on behalf of people who gain from them. The movie, if anything, was a very broad, very inclusive movie that it included the perspectives of women, men, everybody. Everybody was together in the movie rooting for the heroes who were kind of a motley crew. You had people of diverse backgrounds. It was supposedly took place in World War I, but it was a little bit from outside of time. They juxtaposed a lot of World War II. They juxtaposed some earlier 19th century concepts. They juxtaposed ancient Greece. They juxtaposed a lot of things into the movie and made it interesting and made it something outside of time. But the central philosophical theme that the movie explored is, can we have a world of peace? Can we have a world where everybody's included? I believe that to reduce a movie this powerful, I would call it one of the finer movies I've seen in a while, to reduce a movie this powerful into either a criticism from somebody who wants to criticize it from a formulaic perspective, or a glorification of it as from the standpoint of glorifying that women can be superheroes too and all the rest of it, reduces the movie from something very complex into something that fits into the slots of American-style identity politics. it does a disservice to the movie. It takes something that should unify people, where we're all together, all rooting for the good. And the good, by the way, is the end of the war. The whole idea is of the movie is that the war, World War I, is going to be ended, and hopefully all wars would be ended. That, of course, didn't happen. The war to end all wars did not end all wars. But the idea of the movie was the unification of the good people against the hatred. This should not be the way that it's been presented in the culture. Does not do a service to it. I criticized last time the idea of having socially exclusive movie theaters that divide people up according to assumed categories of gender or assumed categories of gender identification. I criticized that. I critiqued it. The movie is nothing about that. The movie was, if anything, truly heroic. The Wonder Woman was, by the way, not sexually objectified. I may not be the age group that this particular writer is referring to. I'm probably a little older, so I'm kind of not there at this point. And if anything, to be honest, folks, I'm very, very into the intellectual space at this point in time. So, all right, this is CHistrue. Please go see Wonder Woman.